My name is Neil Fairs. I was a painter and decorator for 30 years, and now the last 8 years I've been an organic gardener, 6 certified, 2 years before after an Otis visit with Tim Dean. That's the man who invented the veg box, well, along with some others. And we try to do. They're sort of our the Organic Growers Alliance, or the people that we look up to, and they're our sort of mentors, and you know, people like Tollers, you know, stock free gardening, things like that. They you know, we run on their sort of principles. No dig, but it's got to be certified, because that's the only show on the road. You know, it may be very middle class. You know, when you ring up Bristol, you get Boris or Camilla on gap year. You know, we don't really like that, but we can't do a lot about it. Yeah, but it's good. It's sound. It's pure. It's the right thing. You know, people moan about spending £400 a year. Sod all. They spend more than that on fags. You know, it's the right thing to do. It's just that there is only one way out of it, and that is organic. The Soil Association are really upsetting the government as well. They're being inspected every 6 weeks. Did you know that? They're inspecting them every 6 weeks, and that is part of, like, you know, some sort of thing off DEFRA, and they just cheesed them off, because basically they've in 07, the beginning of 07, they've done this thing called silent invasion, which we always knew that GM was coming through the back door in animal feed, but what we didn't know was the extent. And this is true. Apparently 70% of the imported the imported soya and maize is contaminated with up to 50% GM. And now Monsanto is in the bloody courts now, taking DNA testings of meats up and down the country in supermarkets, some organic, and apparently this DNA is coming out that they've got traces of GM. And instead of us suing them, they're trying to sue the farmers. Is that crazy or what? What's it all about? And the same things are going on in Europe. They're now saying in Europe that they're thrilled to bits that they've got when you go to a farmer's market, not a farmer's market, a merchant, feed merchant, you now, they say this does not contain GM, right? And now the labelling, it's gone over to Europe, and they're now allowed the same labelling in Europe, and they're saying this is fantastic. No, it isn't. It's negative labelling, because basically they should say that it contains GM, not that it doesn't contain GM. You see what I mean? Mm. So in other words, it's not accurate in any shape or. Right. These are Sakura tomatoes, right? F1s. And these F1s, the reason they're here on their own is because what we're going to try and do is take seed from all 3, plant them next year, see what comes out. If there's anything good that comes out, we will then grow from them. So them seed, next year's seed should stay true. Yeah. Because F1 always reverts back. But it's not just sweet though, is it? You with me? It's got flavour with it as well. And they have these huge trusses, and the truss comes down there and carries right on. They can be 1 metre plus long, and they're full of, you know. Do you know what's grown in this? Compost tea. That's all we put on it, compost tea. Plenty of rotations, compost tea, piece of piss.